Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to New York City. Now, while New York City was a city that never slept, and you could find almost anything on Harlem on Saturday night, the one-stop drop for all your jazz connoisseurs, well, at least back in the 30s and the 40s, was the Cotton Club, the hearth from which the fast fire of jazz spread across the country, and the jumping-off point of many of our greatest jazz artists. Now, the club today doesn't exactly match up with what it once was. After time has passed, things get replaced, things get changed, but many things have inherited the Cotton Club's signature moniker. Now, we will be taking quite a little bit trip back in time, so bear with me here. In the year 1920, boxer Jack Johnson rented the upper room of the building and created the Deluxe Club, an intimate supper club meant for friends and close associates of Mr. Johnson. This, however, wouldn't be very long-lived, as a notorious gangster and bootlegger by the name of Oni Madden would soon be released from Sing Sing Correctional Facility and buy the facility away from Johnson. Though he would still be left with the manager's building with a deal with Madden and Johnson. Under Madden, it would acquire its brand new name and a near non-stop flow of various alcohols, despite the venue and the whole era at the time being under heavy prohibition. Of course, this attracted many different types of people, but only one would really be served. Even after the building closed, due to one instance of, alcohol during prohibition, the building would eventually come back better than ever. Soon, the venue would become host to some of the biggest names in jazz: Duke Ellington, Louis Armstrong, many others. Cap Calloway and his band were frequent members. The club sought to host an authentic African-American experience without really allowing African-Americans to experience it, due to the fact that African-Americans for a very long time in the club were not allowed to be patrons, but were allowed to be performers, entertainment, and servers. Though, I will say this, white staff were paid well, but they weren't allowed to participate in anything in the venue, whether that be alcohol hours or any food. They were allowed to, however, lesser grade stuff in a building nearby. Again, this would become the birthplace of some of the biggest jazz stars in the US, so take my opinion with a grain of salt. Some people liked it, some people didn't, and some people simply saw better. So Duke Ellington would eventually his orchestra removed and be replaced by Cap Calloway. Now, there's mainly two factors that make the Cotton Club such a historical site. One, it again was a hearth of many of our greatest jazz artists. Many would be ones to revolutionize both the genre and music across the United States as a whole. Two, the club itself was a good reflection of many of the beliefs at the time. Again, black people couldn't be patrons, but again, performers. And performers they were. Many of the servers, even those that had actually performed with instruments, had to fit a certain stereotype. Tall, tan, and terrific. Light skin, very tall, 5'6" at the time. Women anyways. And they had to be under the age of 21. Again, could only be black. Same with the men. Similar requirements. And more than that, it was heavily segregated, even when black patrons were allowed. Maybe big names could be allowed in, such as Langston Hughes and other good performers, but many others simply were not allowed entrance. Though, like most things, it would have to adapt while changing times. Eventually, in 1935, due to heavy criticism and changing public opinion, restaurant/club eventually desegregated, though damage was already done. The club would soon end up closing in the 1940s, and after a little while, it would be replaced by the Latin Quarter. This club would continue all the way up until 1989. The whole building was torn down and replaced. Though, songs, artists, and genres were invented in the club, and during the whole era, it is a good sign of public opinion today. Black people were allowed to be part of it, only if they were the ones doing the job. So, again, the club is worth a lot more than just segregation in jazz. And many modern-day clubs still hold the moniker, though the original building is long dead and gone.